to dare to dive deep into comics. Nothing can compare from Gotham's Dark Knight to Marvel's mighty Thor. We'll break it down, leave you wanting more. Separate you on a ride where heroes and villains clash side by side. Whether it's DC or Marvel.
Hold on. There we go. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the InnerCityGeeks podcast. It's Steve here. I had myself muted for a second, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at the beginning. But hey, welcome to another episode of the InnerCityGeeks podcast. Again, it's Steve here. This is episode 335. And joining me today, I got Alex.
Oh, I was trying to hold my laughter. Luckily, I was on mute. Because you started talking, I'm just like, I was about to scream, you're still on mute! You're still on mute!
Yeah. Gotta love technology, right? Yeah.
Fucking Skynet.
And we got Brian.
What's up?
Yo. How's it going? It's been a good week. We're recording at the same time that we did last time. And we're keeping it. We're trying to keep us. I guess keep recording every freaking Thursday, right? So
seems like it. Yeah, I mean, it works.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's working for us. It's making sense, and it's falling into place. We find the exactly. We found that it seems to be the perfect time to actually be recording anyway. So,
which, if you do remember, we used to record on Thursdays long ago.
A long time ago.
Back in the days.
Way back in the day.
Back in the days where climate change didn't happen, COVID didn't happen.
Yeah.
We all had different
Florida
jobs.
Didn't happen.
Going way back like scoliosis. Totally get it.
Yeah. That's pretty far back. Yep.
That's pretty far back.
Yeah. No, but it's I think Thursdays is, I guess it's gonna be the new designated day, I guess you can say.
Until further notice.
Exactly.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. But it's fine. So how's it going, Alex? How you been, man?
Oh, not bad. As we were talking about before we started recording, I am waiting on an Uber Eats order. So, yeah.
Yay, food.
Yeah. And I was hoping that, yeah, it's like, we have another special guest or whatever. My stomach.
Yeah.
It was like, stop being angry.
And it's like, I'm not. I'm just hungry.
Yeah, so...
Your stomach all Gray Fox from Metal Gear Solid 1. Feed me more. Also, Ryback.
Oh, yeah.
Him.
You know what was kind of funny? That I was watching something earlier today about it was like forgotten or like failed NXT talents or something like that. Like it was like a list. I forget what site, like like what channel it was on or whatever. But since you mentioned Ryback or whatever, like it wasn't mentioned as his first gimmick name. I don't know if you remember, Skip Sheffield.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
What culture?
Yeah,
What culture?
No, I don't think it was What Culture. So it was something else. But they meant. But one of the failed gimmicks that they mentioned, or the failed wrestlers that couldn't make it through was Michael Tarver, one of the dudes that was originally in the Nexus with Ryback, Slater, Otunga, and
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they were just saying that when it like the problem that he had was that other people had more personalities and everything as such. So because of that, it kind of failed. So I was like, oh, I kind of see it. Because I mean, the thing was when he was part of the whole Nexus thing. I think that was around the same time that the reason why it failed was at that time NXT was that contest, if you remember.
Yeah.
So that right there was like, it wasn't the black and gold brand that we got to know and love before it became 2.0 and whatever.
Well,
Chasing
I think I know
Rainbow.
which I think I know which video you're talking about too. I think it was the Wrestle Talk video. They had a thing basically like what killed the original NXT.
Yeah,
it could be, but
Vince McMahon. That's what killed the original NXT.
well, I mean, the whole thing was this. What's if you remember, like like I just mentioned a second ago, that originally it started off as like kind of a game show, kind of like the whole
Mhm.
thing of like something in the lines of like Tough Enough and stuff like that,
Right.
right? But more so of like they kind of wanted to showcase these people to see like what they had to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that the idea that Triple H had of making it more of a developmental kind of thing, like like a FCW or OVW or something as such,
Yeah.
Or damn, I forgot Lola's promotion. Was it USWA that like? But that was more his promotion. But yeah, but stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That works much better. Of like letting people get their get their rounds in and everything like that,
Yeah,
getting their
of course.
time, and
Mm-hmm.
developing something that that could probably work for them. When they do
Something that could work in the long run.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. But then the curse of of like NXT, it just seems like, I mean, it doesn't happen to everyone, but most people, it just seems like once they get bumped up to the main roster, they kind of lose momentum. Or
Yep.
Well, they lose momentum because they don't know what to do with them after they get them in there. Because they try to figure out how are they going to fit them into whatever storylines are there. And then at that point, they're just like, okay, we'll hold on you for a minute, and then they go nowhere.
yeah, because I mean, like I still say that um I feel that like there's certain individuals that they get the call up that should have done a lot better. I'm gonna always mention Nakamura because I still think to
I
this
was
day.
I was thinking that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, but you already know, since he's one of my one of my current faves in WWE now. Like, he hasn't even really been on TV like that.
Yeah,
Like the
he hasn't been on TV since that feud he had with Cody.
Yeah, and then even with that, it was just the only time that like you really got kind of a mention and everything like that was when they had the tour in Japan. And
Right.
even with that,
And
it was just
even then, they didn't say anything about it.
no.
He just
They
showed
just
up.
show they just show him. They showed other talents and everything like that. And I mean, I'm happy that that he has a gig and everything like that. I just wish that they would use him better.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. I completely agree with you. But what can we say?
Oh, and
What
then
can we do? That's more like it. What can we do?
petition.
So nobody can, regardless, nobody's gonna hear us do it.
Nah, well, honestly, the whole thing is this. It's just like, no matter what, I'm gonna still support, the my favorite workers in that promotion and everything like that.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no matter what, you're gonna always be a fan. Like, and you
Yeah.
just kind of hope, like, hopefully in the near future something happens where they start using them better.
Truth.
We can only hope.
It's
can
like saying for
only
my other
hope.
one is I hope that Kevin Owens gets some kind of like title contention or whatever, but that's another thing.
But I don't think he wants that anyway.
I don't think he does.
I think he's like, like I'm good. I just want to beat people's ass,
Yeah.
which makes
I mean-
complete sense too. Like,
I mean, if you think about it, Kevin Owens, he loves the business. He's so passionate about it. And a few manias back, he got to fight fucking Stone Cold. That was like his passion right there.
yeah,
I also like that whole thing that he actually got to main event one of the nights. So
right, exactly.
Right.
that's where him and Zayn won the tag team titles.
That's
That
right.
was,
Yeah.
the WrestleMania of past. Was it 2 years ago?
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Like he doesn't need to actually win a title.
no,
He's-
people
he-
like
because-
people
because-
like I'm saying that people like Randy Orton or whatever that have been there for like a long time. don't really need a title because he's already, multi-time champion and everything like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I felt kind of bad for is like people like Owens, especially when he was going through the feud with Roman Reigns, that it just seems like they just kept like, poo-pooing on him, and it kind of got me mad that I'm just like, especially around that time, I was just like, he should have lost that title a long time ago. But then at the same time, look what happened with the whole story.
Yeah.
So
It happens. It happens.
Well, I also think he doesn't want the title because I feel like in that industry, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think this is true, that when you hold said precious title, you have to be there pretty much all the time, except if you're The Rock. But I mean, if you don't have a title, you have more opportunity to take more time to be with your family.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kevin Owens, we know is a family guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter.
Oh, Peter.
No, I think his son is he took his first bump in the last couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, there was I think there was something said online that that he kind of pushed his son to start going to the PC.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just see what happens.
We'll see. He's a tall dude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and I saw the first episode of Batman Cape Crusader.
I have not watched it yet.
Me
I have
neither.
not watched it.
Oh my god! Like,
How was it so far? From what you saw, what do you think?
well, I mean, like the whole thing is the first episode. Spoilers ahead. It was the introduction of the Penguin, and I know we talked about it already. That that the Penguin, they gender swap Penguin.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
But I ain't saying no, I'm not gonna say as weird as it is because it's not like that. But for the idea, I do kind of like it because it worked for the character in that episode. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
the way that it played out, I was like, wow, this is like, to me, this is like, you can tell that this was, let's make it like the animated series, but just tweak it a bit.
That's
Fair.
what I figured.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
What I thought what was funny was that Alfred, like, looks like Alfred, but he's like chunky. So I was like, oh my god. But they made, but the idea of like Alfred is that he's supposed to be, of course, he's supposed to be older than Bruce.
Right.
So,
Well,
but
yeah, he's
but
supposed
he
to.
still has kind of that similar look. Like, it's like a mashup of like different Alfreds,
Mm-hmm.
but you can tell right away, like, oh, Alfred.
Now off air, Steve and I were wondering, is it all episodes up or is it weekly?
I think it's 10 episodes that they have up right now.
Okay,
So that's the whole season then.
the whole season.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Each
yeah.
episode's about half an hour, so.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like a classic, TV half an hour.
Okay.
And how is Hamish Linklater as Bruce Wayne / Batman?
You can tell that he's very influenced by Conroy. Or
Okay,
or at least like the idea.
Are you surprised?
that makes me happy because I like it. I've always liked Hamish Linklater as an actor. So
I mean, it still feels kind of weird that best vocal Batman's gone.
of course,
But the whole thing is, when it comes to voiceover and everything like that, the world has to move forward no matter what. So
no matter what, I mean, we all know that if Kevin Conroy didn't get sick and pass, he would have been Batman hands down. He would have been like, yeah, of course.
And
absolutely.
and if I'm correct, the original idea was that they were going to continue on with the animated series. Like that was the idea that it was going to be a continuation.
That's right, because the talks of that happened right around the same time as X-Men '97.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just a handful of years ago. Yeah.
I mean, the result that we have now from like I said from that first episode, I'm just like, you know what? It's not bad. Like I liked it, but I'm just like I said, I can't go by just one episode. But as far as
Right. Yeah.
what I've seen as like, you know what? In the words of Uncle Roger, not bad.
Yeah.
Now, because it's like his second week into doing this or something, right? It's like isn't like very early Batman.
Well, that's what it seems like because like from the first episode, it seemed like that everyone thinks that he's an urban legend right now, and Barbara Gordon, you know, uh, sees the Batman technically in person, like because he went to kind of save her ass when I don't really want to get into the episode because I'd rather you guys watch it,
Of
but
course.
when they but when they finally when one of the Gordons see Batman, it's just like, oh, he's real.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be watching a little bit after we wrap tonight.
I might do that. I might do that for sure.
And I'm looking at my thing, and it seems like they'll be here soon for my food. So what's going on with you, Brian?
Oh, am I on this show too? Wow.
Yeah, you're there. You're here.
Well, I understand. No, we started mentioning Batman. Well, how you gonna say something like that or whatever when you already realized we were all conversing together? Oh, now it's my turn. Like you were talking, so it was always your turn.
It's also like, hello, is this thing on?
Is it me you're looking for?
Maybe it is, and maybe it is.
It's funny that you sing. It's funny that you sing "Hello" by Lionel Richie, and I just think back to that meme where it was like the Flyers. Hello, it's me you're looking for. It's like
yeah.
I mean,
what's good, Brian?
What's good? I'm good. Had a really long day of work as usual. Been all right. Beside, happy that we're doing this. As tired as I am, because this is always fun hanging out with you, gents. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Same Z's.
So, as for things I've been watching, so something I totally forgot that I to mention last week because last week I was literally having dinner while we were recording. Is that I last week watched the first 5 episodes of season 6, part 1 of Cobra Kai.
Oh shit! Okay.
The reason why I say
I completely forgot that it came out.
Yeah, season 6, part 1 of 3 to be precise.
Jesus.
Well, they really want to make sure that every kid in Karate Kid is some sort of something. And what's funny is that when you watch the original seasons of Cobra Kai and then you watch the new season, or even just go back if you're a fan of the show, just watch season 5 and then part 1 of season 6. These kids have grown up so much and shot up in height so much.
Yeah, because we've seen them grow since they were the Utes.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's like you watch, say the young actor that plays Kenny, like he was in his first appearance, he was small as hell, and now he's like 5 foot. You're like, but you were just like 4'11", or you were just like 3'11" last week.
Yeah.
So, Cobra Kai Cobra Kai season 6 part 1 is fun, definitely worth it. This story is going to end so fucking crazy. Because they're nerds. They went and did their homework, these writers, and they were like, we're going to go and study every little thing. They're retconning Karate Kid, sort of like how Don Mancini retconned Chucky. But instead with Don Mancini doing Chucky, which is his own creation, these guys are going in and going, okay, how do we make this work? And that's why I'm also so bummed that I forget if we spoke about it last year or earlier this year, but if you hadn't watched Obliterated on Netflix, it's only 1 season, and I'm sad it got canceled. Netflix pulled an Archive 81.
Very sad.
Yeah. So Obliterated is fun. It's I'm not going to talk about it. Just research it. But it's the guys that did Cobra Kai, Now,
Okay.
yeah. So aside from that, I've been sort of watching a few shows. I think I mentioned I'm watching Suits. I'm watching Mayor of Kingstown. Um, this weekend I watched because I mean, we're all fans of Batista as an actor.
Yeah.
So like, and he's gotten progressively better as time has gone on.
Absolutely.
Um,
100%.
yeah, like we spoke about it a few weeks back. He's in that movie coming out where he's a hitman that has a hit on himself. Which I cannot wait for next month. But I went and watched My Spy and then My Spy Eternal City. I mean, My Spy was fun. Eternal City was bonkers, but just fun. You know,
they're both essentially pretty fun.
they're pretty fun, and like seeing and that actress, that young actress, like she went from being a small 9-year-old. Well, I don't know how old she really is. I'm going by her character base.
Right.
She went from being a small 9-year-old to being like a tall 14-year-old.
Yeah.
In 4 years.
She grew. She grew.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, and that's just it, right? I mean, we're dads. It's like we watched our kids go from these tiny little things to fucking ginormous.
Yeah. Like Hardy's about to be 10 this year, so
yeah.
I know the feeling.
And like with my girls, we're like they're short for their age in that whole percentile thing, but like Charlotte's your average size kid, and then Olivia, who is always a smidge taller than her sister, is now a lot taller than her sister. And like, so like instead of my 4-year-olds, it looks like I have a 5 and a 4.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see, have I been watching anything else? I mean, aside from just random shit on YouTube, I don't think so.
That's fair. Yeah. It's okay.
One thing which we'll talk about at some point in the show is that just like you gents, I finally got to see Deadpool and Wolverine.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll talk about
that a little bit.
Yay!
Spoiler alert, it's fucking amazing. Go watch that shit.
You didn't even have to say spoiler alert. You could have just been like, okay, we'll just talk about it later.
Well, I like to say spoiler alert. It's fun.
That's fair. It's fine. It's fine.
So, yeah. That's pretty much it for me. Steve, what about you? What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just a whole lot of stuff. I've been working, of course. Last week I worked the first home spring training for the Bucks.
Ooh.
That was pretty fun. What sucked is that it was at the training facility, which is like 3 blocks from the stadium, which is cool. It's fine. But what sucked was my part of what I was doing there. It is basically regulation size field or whatever. And they have stands. It's general admission, so everybody comes in, they sit where they want to sit. Doesn't matter. You just have to find a seat.
Right.
My job, what I was doing there, what I got scheduled to do, I had to go up and down the entire field, making sure that nobody was just standing in a specific section where they weren't supposed to be standing. So I had to go from one end of the field to the other end of the field for the entire game.
Oof.
So which was about 4 hours worth of me walking up and down, telling people that you cannot stand here and take pictures. You have to go sit at your seat.
Well, I mean, you got your steps in, so.
Oh yeah, I absolutely did. I made over 9,000 steps that day.
Calves of steel, baby.
Yeah, pretty much. I was dying.
Soon, Steve, you could be like me and walk nearly 8 miles.
Yeah, I was dying, dude. I was legit fucking dying. I was like, what the fuck? But it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, it was a fun time. Got to see a bunch of people. And then I got to see the Bucks play, which was fun. It's pretty cool that they're doing, of course, spring training for the next few weeks before the season starts.
Of course.
And Yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. One of the few movies that I watched this week that was actually pretty good, besides the one that we were talking about later, is this movie called Abigail that I watched on Tubi. Not the Abigail with Vampire Abigail.
Okay.
This Abigail is totally different. She's in high school or whatever, and she basically moves to like the small town or whatever. She's starting to make friends, and you see this little story as far as like the mom. It's just her and her mom moving to this town, and the mom is like constantly like, yo, like don't do this, don't do that. And then you see Abigail just giving her mom looks and talking to her in ways that like, okay, I wouldn't talk to my mom that way, or I wouldn't talk to any of my parents that way. And then as the story progresses, you start to see that she isn't the nicest of girls. It turns out to be a bit of a slasher.
Oh.
And she just goes awry towards the end of the movie. It just becomes nuts with a totally crazy twist that I was not expecting. And I was like, okay. Because it starts off with one thing, one person killing two people. And then it leads to something else. Then it goes into her story, and then it just continues with her story. And then she makes friends with this little dude, or whatever in her school, her neighbor actually, and they become really close friends, like almost like boyfriend girlfriend, but not really because they never say they're boyfriend girlfriend or whatever.
Okay.
But it just builds and builds and builds to the point that I guess I'm gonna say spoilers for this because I don't know if anybody's even gonna watch this movie, but they start killing people that are fucking with them. It's wild. It is a wild fucking movie. It turns out that at the end, the serial killer that we saw at the beginning was actually her dad.
Oh shit! So
right, exactly. So she winds up killing her mom. Actually, killed herself because she's like, I don't know what to do anymore. I love you, but whatever. And she winds up shooting herself in the head. Fucking wild freaking movie. That's on Tubi. So if you have Tubi, which is not hard to find, you just download Tubi on your phone, or you can download Tubi on your TV or whatever, and you can find Abigail.
I think I have Tubi pre-installed on my TV.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to watch. Of course, you have commercials, but it's nothing. It's Tubi's not a bad place to find movies, and they got a lot of good ones too. And another one that I watched the other day was actually Frankenstein's Army. This is a kind of like a mockumentary type thing, kind of sort of alternative history in that the Germans actually, of course, you know, they had a lot of scientists and stuff, but they wind up not necessarily winning, but they create, essentially they capture people and they do tests on these people that they capture, turning them essentially into like Frankenstein's monsters, giving them instead of having regular limbs, they give them like weapons as limbs. It's fucking nuts. It's crazy because they all look really freaking creepy. But it's a dope watch. So definitely check out Frankenstein's Frankenstein's Army. It's on Tubi as well. But yeah, watch that. And what else? I think that's about it that I've been watching. Other than, you know, what we're about to talk about. And that'll lead us to our next little section. Now that we're getting into geek shit, so here we go. To the next thing. All essentially watched Deadpool for Wolverine.
Right.
Since last week. It came out last week. It's been over a week. So I guess we're gonna do spoilers. So spoiler warning. Spoiler warning.
You've had a week. When meanwhile, if you're on Twitter, yes, it's still Twitter.
Yeah.
Companies like IGN and Screen Rant posted spoiler alert shit like 2 days later. I'm like, Urgh.
Not even. They posted on Saturday. They're like, oh yeah, you watched the movie. You should have watched the movie day one, and we support shit on Saturday.
And it's like bullshit. Yeah. People have jobs and kids.
Yeah. We have lives. Essentially, with a week. You know, it's been a week essentially since the movie came out.
Yeah.
And we feel like if you haven't watched it, it's only right that we spoil it for you.
Especially by the time you listen to this episode, it's over a week.
Right, exactly. By the time you listen to this episode, it'll be next week. It'll be the week after. It'll be the following Monday. Oh, whenever you decide to listen to this episode. But yes, we watched Deadpool and Wolverine, the third installment in the Deadpool movies.
And the better of the two sequels.
Yeah, the better of the two sequels. I agree. Says us. Alex does not agree with us, unfortunately, but it's okay. We all have opinions, and ours are better. But
says you
opinions again. Are like opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one,
and some of them are usually shitty and stinky. Yes.
Yeah, like yours. That's fine. This was dope. This is a really good fucking movie. It's really, really fun. I had a really good time watching this. It made me really fucking happy.
I can't tell you how many times tears came out from laughing so hard.
Yeah.
This was also literally Ryan Reynolds just on a rant for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds is just a naturally funny person. And it was just, I mean, we've said this for years, that Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool.
He really was.
I mean, like, outside of Nolan North, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
See, but Nolan North is just acting. He's just reading the lines.
Right, but, like, Nolan North in terms of Hulk versus Nolan North in terms of the Deadpool video game, you know, and things like that.
Right.
But live action Deadpool, I cannot look at Ryan Reynolds in any other movie and not think he's fucking Wade.
Yeah, I agree.
So spoiler alert, Deadpool 2, just the opening scene alone, to the fact that he's killing TVA agents in the woods while NSYNC's Bye 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 is playing.
But not only just killing them, but using Wolverine's
dug up corpse. He's killing them with adamantium fingers.
Yeah. With the 216 adamantium bones.
Yeah, and it got to the point, did you see NSYNC changed their YouTube video to officially say music from the original motion picture of Deadpool?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I did not see that. That's fucking cool.
But what I loved was when Wolverine gets set out to find the new Deadpool. When Deadpool gets set out to find a new Wolverine, he digs up Logan's corpse, and it's the set pretty much from Logan, but now like things have grown in. There are more trees because it's been a few years, 7 years. But
what's fun about that scene when we first see it is that the X is still up. Yes. Usually, being that it has been years, as you know, time passes, shit tends to fall down. It's not going to stay the same way it was. So it makes you think that X-23 and some of the children that they saved came back and fixed everything up again.
That's actually, yes, that's something that I totally missed, but that makes a lot of sense. But I love that when I love that when he digs up his corpse, like, oh, he's really dead.
And then he's like, fuck. Yeah.
And then we have the infamous Deadpool style montage of Deadpool having to find another Wolverine.
Yep. And we see all different types of Wolverines. We see a comic accurate version of Wolverine. Meaning a 5'3" version of Wolverine. Played by
my god, I forgot about that one.
And the funny thing is that that scene was at this place that they throw axes and stuff. It's in New York.
Huh.
Yeah, it's in the city. I don't remember what the name of it, but it is in New York.
Was it kick axe throwing?
I think so. Yep.
That's in
shit.
That's in Brooklyn.
That's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but that's where it was. But yeah, you see 5'3" comic accurate version of Wolverine.
That was thinking about that now. That was great.
Yeah, especially the fact that like people were so complaining about the fact that Hugh Jackman is literally a foot taller than Wolverine's supposed to be. When he was first originally casted, they were like, "Oh no, this is gonna be gross. He's not supposed to be that tall. Why?
Yeah.
And then we get it. We're like, wow, he actually worked. So now they're poking fun at the fact that he was supposed to be a tiny little Wolverine. Then after that, we see Wolverine continuing the journey because he's, of course, he's like, I'm not gonna pick a little scrawny little person, even though he's not scrawny, but he's just a little person,
right?
Or a short king, as you can say. People say. Then
we see Deadpool. Then we see Deadpool travel, and we see next was Brown and Tan. Yeah.
Brown and Tan, you see, which we've loved from the comics from way back in the day.
And we got teased that suit in Wolverine 3. Yeah, on the flight, yes.
Yeah, and then at the same time, it was that, but when he's in the woods, you see his claws come out, and you see the Hulk in the claws, which basically shows at one point, of course, in the comics, you see Wolverine versus the Hulk a bunch of different times. There is actually one cover with that same look, which was the claws with Wolverine, with the Hulk in the claws, nice little shiny claws. In the past, we've seen it before, which was really freaking cool the way they did that. And I loved it. I was like, wow, okay, I like that. Then wind up seeing we get Wolverine somewhere else as Patch, who we've seen in the comics as well. Another alter ego for Wolverine. It's fantastic. He's wearing the white suit. He's gambling at a table. Good stuff.
Yep.
Then we also got Age of Apocalypse Wolverine,
which I did not expect, but that was pretty fucking well done.
Yeah. That's the Wolverine with one hand.
I still say that they could have had a cool, T2 joke there that they could have added, but yeah.
That's fair. I get it. But that's just adding too much other stuff into it. Then from there, we get another Wolverine that is basically crucified on the X. I forget which comic that one's from, but that is from the comics as well.
But that's right off of the cover too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is fucking fantastic. Like every little bit that we've seen, just like, I've seen this so many times in the past. I think I own a couple of those issues.
I think I do too.
And I'm just like, nostalgia berries. Remember berries like a motherfucker. But yeah, it just kept getting better and better until we actually meet the broken Wolverine, essentially, or
Well, I mean, we forgot one of the favorite Wolverines in this.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
We
It
get
was
the not Hugh Jackman Wolverine wearing the tank top, fixing his bike, and it's fucking Henry Cavill.
yeah. That was pretty dope. Superman Wolverine.
And Deadpool basically saying, if you come to the MCU, we'll treat you better.
Essentially. But yeah, that was pretty freaking cool. And I'm like, oh, okay. I like where they're going. I see where they're going. And then we got the other Wolverine, the last one. Just like, okay. The one that's pretty much down in his dumps, and he's like, I'm tired of all this shit.
With the whiskey dick of the claws, as said in the movie.
yeah. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Then they drag him over to TVA. Well, Deadpool drags him over because he passes the fuck out. And he gets the suit. He has the original suit that we've seen in the comics and stuff, the yellow and blue. And I'm just like, yay.
That was so nice to watch.
Yeah. And then he wears the suit for the rest of the season, for the rest of the show, or rest of the movie. Jesus.
After 24 years of Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, we finally have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Not Logan in street clothes. Not black leather like he's
not Matrix or Matrix Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. And they made it look good. It looks so good.
It looked really fucking good.
And I was just like, oh man. I was like, oh, this made me super happy, dude. Just from the beginning to this is what, like 10 minutes in? I'm already this is like the best movie ever. Yes, nostalgia berries like a motherfucker. But I loved every minute of it. And I was like, okay, where else are they gonna go? What else can they possibly do with this?
And they really just kept hitting home runs.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just kept going, and then you see Wolverine and Deadpool pretty much like leave the TVA because they're like, okay, we're gonna try to figure out something and how to get. Oh no, they get thrown into the void. That's what happens. And then getting thrown into the void. That's when they bump into Chris Evans. That's just hanging around, and he's like, you can't be around here too much because it's kind of like Mad Max. They're out in the dunes, just hanging out. And then they see in the mist, they see like, oh yeah, these people coming in the cars.
Yeah.
And we see Pyro in a car. We saw in the trailer.
We saw in the teaser trailer was Pyro. I'm like, they brought back that dude as Pyro.
Mm-hmm. And then being that it is Chris Evans, Deadpool sees like, oh yeah, I know that guy, and that guy looks exactly like Captain America. And as they're all coming, he's like, oh, he's like, he's about to say it. He's about to, do the, Avengers Assemble. And then no, it's not that. That's not the Wolverine that we have here. That's not the Chris Evans character that we have here.
He instead yells out, "Flame on!" and it's fucking Johnny Storm.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And he goes up and he starts to shoot fireballs at Pyro, and then you remember, Pyro deals with fire and he completely drains him of the fire. And then he falls and essentially killed him. Well, not killed himself, but like he fucked himself up.
He knocked him out.
He locked himself silly.
He took one of those like skateboard fail kind of falls.
Yeah. It was bad. It was really bad. And it just continues, and it just more shit happens. They both get dragged over to Cassandra Nova was actually an amazing fucking villain.
You totally forgot about the whole fight before they got taken.
Yeah, I did forget about that.
All with Sabretooth.
Yeah, that was such a long fight. That's probably why I forgot about it. It was a short. Sabretooth is pretty much like about to fight Wolverine.
And it's great that it's Tyler Mane back as Sabretooth.
And Wolverine just wind up decapitating him. One fell swoop. Chop chop. And it's all over. And then he gets him, he takes his head and he's like, oh yeah. He does the whole Furiosa thing.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay. Like, even though they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get sued for whatever, they're like, fuck it, let's do this. And they just made it awesome. Oh, okay. Then of course, then at that point it was when they wound up going over to Cassandra Casanova's, who essentially is living inside of Giant Man, who's in the void. Essentially, the reason he's there in the void is because he got spaghettified at one point.
Right.
And then of course, he gets brought back at one other point. Whatever. Timelines.
This movie sort of poked fun at those timelines.
Yeah.
That's the whole point in this movie.
Yeah. Which is what I loved about it. Like, yeah, like you have all these timelines and multiverses, but you can't just live within the timelines and make things work within the timeline. You just have to try to figure some shit out. And they do. And they make it work. What else was next?
That's when they made who they thought was Professor X.
Yeah, Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
Which is her Professor X's twin, essentially.
Yeah. I think next is when Wade can't keep his fucking mouth shut and Johnny Storm's trying to help them be freed. But instead, Cassandra decides to de-skin Johnny and kills that version of human.
She rips his skin off.
Technically, if you want to get into it, what is it? Sindel's Mortal Kombat 3 Fatality, but instead of screaming, it was with the mind.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then
pretty brutal.
And then afterwards was when they get rescued by people we only knew one of, because it was in the last trailer, and that would be X-23, once again portrayed by Daphne Keane.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when we meet up with three faces, one in which, although it got spoiled online, I didn't expect it to be that good. First, we got Elektra, once again portrayed by Jennifer Garner.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Wesley Snipes. I forget, I'm not doing this in order on purpose, but we get Wesley Snipes back as Blade.
Yep.
Which Wesley Snipes will always be Blade.
Absolutely. I
don't care rebooting or not, but Wesley Snipes will always be my Blade, because
But the thing is also, like, the bigger reason for this is because Blade never got a real good send off. Same thing with Elektra. The Elektra movie wasn't that great, so it never really got a real send off. It was just like, oh yeah, it happened, and that's it.
I mean, and there was a whole big feud between Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes with Blade Trinity,
mm-hmm.
where Ryan Reynolds was basically Deadpool in that movie. But he and Wesley Snipes finally, it was nice that they finally, settled shit and, became cool again. And Wesley Snipes looked really good too. Like, he looked in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Like dude was like, all right. And then I mean, I'm obviously jumping ahead, but when he was fighting and once again said, "Motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill,"
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, he said the line, but my out of those, out of the three faces that appeared in that one scene, my favorite was Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
Because we all know that Channing Tatum has been trying to make a Gambit movie for like a decade and finally said, well, I guess they're not going forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, the fact that he was talking with that heavy ass Cajun accent to the point where Deadpool's like, are you speaking English? Like,
Dude, the hilarious thing is that he sounded like he learned English from the Minions.
oh, that was such a great line.
There's a meme online about that I couldn't stop laughing at. That they took that scene from Joe Dirt when Joe Dirt was talking to this, the dude from
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So home
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 is
is where you make it. You like to see homos naked? No, home is where you make it. So technically, they someone just put like Joe Dirt. They just put Deadpool on top. They put the name Deadpool on top of it, and then they put with that dude, Gambit.
It's also they also did something similar to that in what was it, Waterboy too, because that took place in Louisiana also. So
yeah. I still remember that famous line or whatever. Remember what time of my bullshit?
Right, exactly.
And everyone's looking at him like, what?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yo, but Channing Tatum as Gambit was so comic accurate.
Yeah.
Like, with that stupid fucking headpiece and everything. I'm just like, yo. Like,
and they made it work, dude.
They made it work.
When you fast forward and you go to the fighting scene.
Yeah.
And you see him actually wielding the cards and actually not just the cards, but also he has a scepter too. He's charging it, he's throwing it, and he's making it work. And they made it look good.
They made it look really good. Like, it made me excited and sad because, excited because we finally got Channing Tatum as Gambit, but sad that the movie will never happen.
Yeah.
So it's like he had like 15 minutes of screen time, and it was the perfect. It was the perfect closure for that moment.
Yeah, big time.
I also love the subtle jokes of saying like, I think I was just born here, because they kept saying like he wasn't brought to the void. Remember the others were brought to the void.
He was born in the void.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Like everybody else got pretty much transferred there because Cassandra wanted them to actually, start pruning people and stuff.
Let's see. For cameos, I love the fact that one of the TVA agents was Rob McElhenney.
Because It's Always Sunny.
Exactly. So, but that's because he and Ryan Reynolds are business partners and they own the Wrexham Football Club.
Yep. Which is pretty cool. Like, I like that he did that.
And then let me go on the Googles for who am I thinking for from Wrexham? One of the footballers from the Wrexham club was actually in this movie.
Okay.
So it was footballer Paul Mullen, who's one of the Wrexham's top guys.
Okay.
And he was one of the Deadpools toward the end of the movie.
Nice.
Yeah. And so, and also, as I said to you off air, was that two of Ryan Reynolds' kids were Deadpools.
Which is only right. Because you got the two kids, of course. You got baby Deadpool and then kid Deadpool.
Yeah, the kid Deadpool yells out Kidpool who yells out that Peter is Deadpool or whatever the line was is his son. and Baby Pool was his brand new daughter,
Yeah.
or his youngest of his kids, and obviously Lady Deadpool, even though she didn't take off the mask, which was totally fine.
Yeah.
Under the mask was actually his wife, Blake Lively, which we all knew was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be Taylor Swift," but no, Blake Lively was spotted on set endless times.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, okay, wife supporting husband, which is great, but it's like, come on.
Why not?
I mean, why not?
Keep the money in house.
Right. I mean, right, they met on the set of Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Which don't ever watch that movie. But then they
you can. Just be warned that it's not that great.
Drink heavily. We do not condone alcohol, heavy alcohol consumption. Just
we do. Just don't drive.
Just don't drive yourself crazy by watching that movie. Don't drive yourself to drink by watching Green Lantern.
Yeah, don't drive off a cliff. Yeah.
So so it was cool though. Like, once again they're in a movie together. Man, such a great fucking film.
Yeah. And then we didn't mention that there were like a bazillion fucking Deadpools, which is great.
The fact that he really adopted Dogpool.
Yeah, that's an ugly fucking dog, dude.
Yeah.
That is an ugly motherfucker, dude.
Honestly, speaking with Deadpools, one of my favorite versions of Deadpool was fucking good looks, long haired Deadpool.
Nice Pool.
Nice Pool, that's right.
Yeah, Nice Pool was fun.
And
the proposal.
This movie sort of proved that you didn't need T.J. Miller back as Weasel.
No, you didn't need him.
Like, if he were to be in the movie per se, it would have been that one scene in the beginning.
Yeah.
With the Wade is fucking stapled on toupee.
Which is
it's a hair system.
It was good.
But I mean, I love the fact that they brought back Peter.
Yeah.
They brought back Rob Delaney, and it's so good because but also not only did they bring him back, but they brought back fucking Shatterstar too.
Yep. But if you think about it, Bob. Oh, not what was Peter? Peter's actually the comic version of Hydra Bob.
Right. They sort of.
No, wasn't that in the first Deadpool or whatever that this guy when they were fighting?
Right.
He just knocked him out.
Yeah, but we never seen him since the first one.
So they sort of retcon that with Peter.
Which makes sense. It's fine.
Which makes sense. One of my favorite things about said movie was when Wade was doing the test drive with the car.
Mm-hmm.
And when the wife was talking about the Honda CR-V, and he says some shit about that car, but then in limbo, he has to drive a Honda CR-V.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah. One of my favorite things was when Cassandra Nova was going into their minds, and you see her hand literally like manipulating their brains.
Oh, that was so gross and perfect.
That was so good the way they made it do it. Instead of just having like the way that they've done with Xavier, he just puts his hand to his temple, and you hear him actually doing the thoughts. When you see her actually in their minds, you're just like, ew, that's gross, but awesome at the same time, because you're like, yo, like he's actually in their brain, in their mind.
And Didn't Wade say something about this is not the way I like being fingered or some
Yeah,
fucking
yeah. She also did say she's gonna be flicking her bean while they die or some shit like that. I was like, wow, this is not your typical Disney movie, but I'm all for it.
I'm all for it too. And and in Feige we trust, right? Because Kevin Feige flat out said when Deadpool comes to the MCU, we're not watering him down.
Mm-hmm.
The man kept his word. He kept his
Yeah.
promise. We didn't get PG Deadpool. We got vulgar as fuck.
Yeah. With all the blood, with all the blood, all the violence. Yeah.
Red suit for blood, brown
Mm-hmm.
pants for shit, and white pants for
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fun movie. I totally loved it.
Totally loved it. And honestly, I mean, one of the biggest highlights, and we spoke about this before, Wolverine not only just wearing the yellow and blue suit, but wearing the fucking mask. White eyes, Wolverine,
Uh-huh.
comic
With the full
accurate,
mask. Yep.
full mask, and my god, fucking great.
Yeah. And it didn't look cheesy.
No.
It didn't look cheesy. It actually looked good.
It looked fucking good.
But yeah, this movie was dope.
There's
more we could add to it.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was during that whole fight scene between, Wolverine, Deadpool versus the Deadpool Corps, right? That you had the little Stan Lee cameo in a sense, because remember Stan Lee steamer or whatever Stan Lee.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice little nod.
It was absolutely.
And also, I mean, we saw it from the original teaser trailer. The was it the shoe store, Liefield's?
Yeah, the Liefield's. Yeah, only feet. Yep. Yeah, because he doesn't know how to draw feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. And that one scene that he's fighting all the Deadpools was literally like a scene in fucking Old Boy, and that one corridor scene.
Yes,
going up and down. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I think we can keep going about Deadpool all we want, but I think yeah, everybody should watch it. We've been going on for like what 20 minutes on it already,
at least.
Yeah, but yeah, we can do that, or we could get into the next thing. That's the next transition, and my mouse decided to be a dumb old person. Okay. SummerSlam is this weekend. Very exciting. I'm super excited for it. Unfortunately, I won't be watching it live because I have to work on Saturday. But
work.
I am quite invested in a lot of these matches because there's a lot happening within the WWE. It's actually pretty freaking good. Like, I am very, very excited for a lot that's going to be happening in this. So let's go through and talk about our predictions for SummerSlam 2024 happening in Cincinnati, Ohio, right? That's where it's at? Yeah.
No, Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio. Sorry. It's the next town over. Again, another town that has nothing to do with it anyway, so. But yeah.
My name is Cleveland Brown.
And let's start with Logan Paul and LA Knight.
Did you say M Night?
yeah, M Night and Logan Paul.
What a twist!
Yeah, it's a hell of a twist. And they're going for the U.S. Championship. It's been a long time. They've been going at it for a while. They've been duking it out, having this whole just back and forth.
Yeah, the war worked.
For months. For months. Not just now in like the last couple of weeks. It's been going on for a while. Logan Paul actually he's really good in the ring. He's really good at what he does. He's also a big old douchebag in real life, but as far as his wrestling prowess, he's actually pretty fucking good. A lot better than I expected. Was not expecting to be a fan of the way he works in the ring. But LA Knight is also pretty damn awesome. He's also been around for a while, a good minute. And then he's finally getting his shine in the WWE, since he was he's been around for a minute, like I said. And I would like to see him actually win. LA Knight for the championship. I want.
I mean, like it does seem like at this point that, because I feel kind of bad saying it, but it seems like LA is kind of losing a little bit of his momentum, because like he should have had a championship a while ago already.
Yeah, making him lose all the time.
I mean, but the thing is this: they at least gave him that main event match against Roman in what is it, Crown Jewel, something like that.
Right? Yeah.
So at least he had a championship title opportunity. That match where he actually got a win against AJ at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But even with that, it's just at this point, like, if you want to keep that momentum for him, he has to win this belt this weekend.
Yeah, he needs to. Absolutely. Brian, what do you say? Do you agree, Brian?
Probably.
Yes. I think he's probably getting it. But yes, we all agree. We all agree. LA Knight should win. Give him the W. He deserves it. He needs it, actually.
And even with that, if Logan Paul does lose it, you can always have the rematch and everything like that, so you can continue on with it.
I was currently making myself a bite. Anyway,
that's fine. That's fine. I get it.
So I hope they give it to LA Gear.
Yeah. I guess everyone's just gonna call him something different.
Yeah.
Considering what Logan Paul wrote on Twitter about the Olympics, I really hope they give it to LA Gear. Because I mean, yeah, I agree. Like Logan Paul's in-ring work is phenomenal. Like, I didn't want to like his in-ring work because I'm like, this fucking YouTube dick. But I mean, yeah, it's LA's turn to finally have a shot, because this feud's ongoing for way too long. And yeah, it's finally it's about time that WWE gives somebody else a turn.
Yeah. Somebody that's actually going to be there more often than just like once a month.
Exactly. Give me a, can I get a hell yeah, or can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Or can I get blinkers on my sneakers because he's LA Gear?
Yeah, yeah.
He's
just going to snap into a Slim Jim.
I was gonna say, like, what was the old gel, whatever, LA Looks?
LA Lights.
LA Confidential.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, it'd be funny if they both have like sponsors. Like, of course, we have Prime, so he has a Prime dude out there. And you have a person dressed up as like a fucking Slim Jim as like their sponsors, because of course, he does the LA Knight does the commercials for Slim Jim. Be pretty cool, I think. I don't know.
Product versus product.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But then again, Slim Jim was all over WrestleMania.
True.
I still find it funny that when it came to WrestleMania, some of the matches were sponsored by dude wipes. So, around the ring or whatever, it just says, I forget it, like, it just said, like, wipe like a dude or whatever.
Yeah. The next one that we go to, we're going for Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship.
I was gonna say international. I was like, dude, wrong promotion.
Yeah, I know. But this is gonna be a good match. I would love to see Sami Zayn win. But I really think this is one of those dudes that coming from NXT, coming over to the main roster, he's one of the ones that deserves to be up there. He deserves to actually win the title.
His speed is ridiculous.
He's insane. He's an absolute
nuts.
beast. He is the perfect mixture of like his brother, his dad, and his uncle.
I just feel kind of bad that, like, even though it seems like they are going to give it to him, that there are other people that should have had that belt, or should at least, had like a little run with it, be it brief.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Bronson Reed should at least had it for a bit, but,
Yeah.
Even
completely
Gable.
agree.
But the one thing I will say is this: the heel turn for Gable, whatever, somewhat works.
Yeah, Gable, he could win it later. He doesn't need it now.
And besides, remember, him and the Creed brothers or whatever are gonna go against the White Six, on Monday. That this coming Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just see how this plays out. But more than likely, it seems like they're gonna pull the trigger and give it to Breaker.
Yeah.
Speaking of pulling triggers, I mean, didn't Chad Gable get shot in the head by the Wyatt Six? How was he alive?
He didn't get shot.
It was clearly a bullet hole in his head.
He got roughed up. That's all.
He got all right.
It was like horror movie trope or whatever that you think that someone's dead, and you find out later it's like, oh no, it wasn't as severe as it was.
Right, exactly.
Look, he wasn't shot in the ear; he was shot in the head.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Right. But yes, Braun Breaker should win.
Yeah, Braun Breaker should win indeed. It's his turn.
I absolutely love Sami Zayn. I love what he does. He's really fucking good too. But
when Sami Zayn won the title, it was in that moment. It was that era of 2024.
Right.
But now it's time for the next person to,
And honestly, I would really like to be a squash. Braun Breaker just comes in and absolutely destroys Sami Zayn.
Are you talking about like the equivalent of how like Goldberg just beat the Fiend, like that kind
beats him in like 2 minutes, and that's it. In and out. We're done. Because you got to think about it. There are like 7-8 matches on the card today.
You want Sami Zayn to be Kofi'd?
Yeah, pretty much.
That one still hurts.
I know it hurts for sure.
But yeah, I mean this SummerSlam is overly big.
Surprisingly, because they're usually like fucking only 3 matches and like 18,000 commercials,
something like that.
And then remember, you have the package or whatever, the whole thing of like what led to this.
Right? Yeah. That's what I mean. The commercials, because you have that in the pre-show too. I know it's the promotional packages for everyone, but.
Yeah, the VT, it's always just what led to this match. Like, all right, thank you.
Yeah, I call it a commercial because it's like, okay, he could get through it.
That is that's on now. I could go get something to eat, go to the bathroom.
Right. Take a quick shit and keep moving.
I've seen this in the pre-show, so I guess we're good. Unless they add something to it.
There's nothing different. Nothing changes from 3 hours ago till now. So yes, Sami Zayn getting squashed by Braun Breaker. I'm down for it. What is next? We have Bailey versus Nia Jax for the women's championship. What do we think?
Ow, my hole. No, I think
It has been a minute since on my hole.
Yeah.
I hope Bailey keeps the title.
Yeah. Okay, this is how I see this match playing out. Okay.
I wonder if it's going to be the same thing that I'm thinking. But go ahead.
What do you think? What do you think, Alex? What do you think?
Somehow, whatever, Nia's going to lose, but then she's going to beat up Bailey, and then Tiffany cashes in her money, her money in the bank, and then she wins it, and it's Tiffy time.
Yep, you are quite close to what I was thinking. But yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. So
we're pretty much all
Bailey
now.
Bailey wins it, and she has a tough match. This is probably one of her toughest matches, obviously, because she hasn't really had any bit of anything since she got it. She had like one match or two matches.
Yeah, like what is it? The whole thing with Piper in Clash of the Castle.
Right. But she hasn't had much of anything since then. Even before that, she won the title and she hasn't had really anything. She hasn't had any real matches. She hasn't had anything at all. So
yeah, most of her defenses, if I'm correct, are usually on the live events.
Yeah. And kind of want to see her actually win the match. So I see her winning the match, and then not even Bailey, like Nia actually beating down Bailey after the match, but the fact that it was such a hardcore match, like a hardcore going match, or like they all like bust their ass throughout the entire thing. Tiffany takes advantage after everything and wins. He cashes in and wins it. That's how I see that happening, which is very close to what Alex was saying. So yes.
Sort of like when Del Rio lost when Del Rio won the match, was broken back in the day, and fucking Ziggler took advantage.
Yeah, but remember Ziggler cashed it in the next night.
But you know what I mean? It's like when what just throw generic winner of a title match that was broken, beaten, and scarred, and then whoever had the suitcase was like, "Yes, now's my time."
Yeah,
I mean, classic Edge and John Cena.
Yeah, or when Damian Priest came in and got the win.
Exactly. I mean, Seth Rollins was broken to shit, and Rollins and Priest was like, now, and now we have Priest as the champion.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how I see it finishing out.
I can see that, yeah.
So we'll see. Let's just hope that that's how it goes out. But if Nia wins, cool. She'll be Queen Nia for a bit, and then Tiffany will take over eventually. Then the next match would be another women's. It's for the Women's World Championship. That's Liv and Rhea Ripley. Oh boy. There's so much story there, dude. There's so much story.
Mommy versus mistress.
Yeah. Like, what's gonna happen? I'm torn.
You're what is it? Nelly.
I'm Nelly Bruglia right now. Yeah. I want Rhea to win. But I also wouldn't mind if Liv retains.
Well,
but the biggest thing through it all is the story with the Judgment Day. That's what pretty much is going to decide the match, the way it goes. is Dom being true and actually not doing anything with her? And could it actually be Finn Balor, the one that's actually fucking around with Liv? Because you see Finn.
Well, there have been so many clues if you look, watching or whatever, that if you look at like in the background and everything as
Mm-hmm.
such,
Mm-hmm.
when Liv messed up the locker room and everything like that, if you ever noticed that the pictures, the only person's picture that wasn't messed up or like written on was Finn's.
Mm-hmm.
And also remember, she did help them win, her and JD win the championships.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems like that it's not gonna. Well, I mean, it can go like this. It can go that that the judging day are gonna try to kick out well kick out Rhea and Priest because it just seems like they both trying to give them that baby face run.
Yeah.
Right. So it just seems like that Liv is more than likely gonna retain with the help of well, it's gonna look like everyone's gonna think that it's Dominic that it's gonna turn, but then it's gonna be Balor. That's how I see
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yep. 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 But in general, who do you think is going to win the match now?
Who I would like, Rhea. Who more likely is gonna happen, Liv.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
We agree so much on these things, but I love it. I love it.
Diplomacy,
Yeah,
democracy.
yeah. Not just
Crazy,
that. Yay,
crazy idea.
like-minded people. Yeah.
Crazy idea. We agree on things so much we should start a podcast.
What? Oh,
But we
What?
also at the
man.
same time or whatever do have disagreements on certain things.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
always do.
yeah, we should start a podcast.
I know. We should talk about stuff like we actually know
Right?
shit.
Yeah, it's not
I
like
know.
we're on episode 330 something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Next match, which actually I would hope that this is the opener, but who knows? CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth freaking Rollins as the special guest referee. I would love if Drew McIntyre just beats the shit out of Punk. And Seth Rollins just stands there and laughs the entire time. Just starts off and hits him with a claymore. And that's it.
Oh my god, just to get the fans riled up and upset.
Yeah.
He goes for the claymore, goes for the pin, and Seth gives him the fast count.
Uh-huh.
I think Punk's gonna win this one.
Okay.
Because just when you think McIntyre's gonna win, Punk's gonna do something to find a way to cost Drew the match to keep this feud going.
Okay.
Out of the three in the ring, the only person I care for there is Drew. So, I would say that more than likely, I mean, the way that it seems like it's going to play out just because of how everything is. Because remember, ultimately, Drew technically is the heel in all this. But then Punk was just, being really fucking Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with it. that remember, Drew heard him, and then Drew even said it. Heard him in the Royal Rumble. Took off time. Took off time and made him miss WrestleMania, for having that match because that injury.
Yeah.
Punk returned Punk gave him the receipt. But then even with that, it's been going back and forth. Well, Punk has just been like slightly, a bit more vindictive.
A little bit.
But I will say McIntyre has been really good with the haterade.
Oh, for sure.
But it's been making good, social media stuff.
That was great when he
He's great on Twitter.
Yeah. The picture of him and Jungle Boy or Jack Perry, it's fucking fantastic.
I still find it hilarious of the comments that were online. Like, even though it got deleted, like, the picture itself got deleted, but so many people saying, like, oh, look at that's nice or whatever. Drew's taking his son to work day.
Which makes sense because they kind of look alike.
I thought that too.
Even though they're like 18,000 feet apart, like as far as height wise. But yeah, I see it.
It's sort of like if McIntyre was Hugh Jackman Wolverine as we know him, and Jack Perry was the 5'3".
The comic accurate Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
I'm still fucking laughing at. Anyway.
Right, I see it. But yeah, I really want Drew to win. But he said there's gonna be some shenanigans happening, and then they're gonna wind up doing a triple threat like Survivor Series or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if the friendship bracelet is gonna come into play.
Yeah.
It might.
I'm just thinking that more than likely something's gonna happen where CM Punk is gonna try to go for it, and then there's gonna be like a million tug of war, and you're just gonna see, it break apart. So then when they do have a video package of the next fight, you see it falling, like how the scene of like when the Wayne parents get shot and killed, and the pearls are just falling slowly to the ground.
How that could play out? Okay, this is my thoughts or whatever.
All right, go ahead.
Drew comes in and actually wins, right? But he knocks Punk the fuck out. Like he knocks him out with a Claymore. He hits him with a Claymore like 3 times. He's knocked out. And then goes for the pin, gives him the pin, and then he takes the little bracelet and he pours it on him, like all the beads and stuff onto Punk in the middle of the ring.
Just for shits and giggles, he does it like Salt Bay.
Yeah.
Just to add insult to injury, and just so you can have another shirt.
Yep. Or he's pouring it like if it's the fucking, like he's throwing flowers onto the grave. I can see it. Yes. I like it.
You're upsetting Brian. Stop it.
It's okay.
You're upsetting the kids.
It's okay. Then the following match, we're gonna have Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who would I like to win? I would really like Damian Priest to keep it.
Same.
But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh my God. I feel kind of bad saying this because, he is Boricua like me, but I really want Gunther to have that title. But then the way that's been playing out is just with that whole storyline of him calling him street trash and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel
making him the underdog.
But what I feel kind of bad in saying like this run with Damian Priest as champion, and like the matches that he's had thus far have been kind of a little lackluster.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because he's had essentially lackluster opponents. They haven't been the greatest opponents that he's faced.
Well, I mean, like, what is it? Him against Seth for that rematch. Him against wait, who did he go against?
Exactly.
I'm trying to. Damn. Who was the first person that he went against?
I don't remember.
After Mania or whatever. Jesus Christ, I'm mad that I'm having fucking brain fart right now.
It's okay. It's kind
of that proves my point that it's been lackluster this run.
Yeah. So I would like him to retain, but I highly doubt it.
McIntyre.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of them was McIntyre, and then I'm trying to think. But yeah, but even with that, like you see,
Wait, no,
like
he won. Then it then it Priest win it from McIntyre.
yeah, but then they had the rematch at Clash of the Castle. But I'm trying to remember, was there Backlash? Who did he go against in Backlash?
I don't even remember.
I don't recall.
I don't even remember.
Now you got me just looking at like
Jay Uso.
there you go. And you see, even with that like that's another like well, listen, people like Jey Uso, whatever. I'm still I feel kind of bad saying it. I don't get it.
He's a good draw.
Well, the fans are behind him, and
He
you know,
has the charisma. He has the charisma that's needed for a champion. But I don't see him being the bigger champion. You know what I mean? Like he's more like a mid carder than the heavyweight champion.
yeah, like something like an IC title would work best right now for
Right.
Jey Uso.
Right. But I'm
Yeah,
not. I wouldn't be upset if
or
he wins it. I wouldn't be upset if he wins it.
if they wanted to give him like a like pop back then or whatever, like it's not IC. Somehow they just bring back the European Championship.
Or just give him the U.S. championship.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
But remember,
No,
that's
not Logan
that's
Paul. Not Logan Paul. It'll be LA Knight.
no. But what I'm saying is, remember, then that means he would have to go back to SmackDown.
Whatever. Stupid. Different companies. Different shows. It's
Yeah,
all the
different
same
shows. Yeah,
thing.
different shows. But then usually, whatever, when they have the super shows or whatever, the live events, or
They're
as
all
we
together in the
the
long
yeah
run.
yeah yeah. I'm sorry, the house shows, as the old school term.
Yeah. No, but I would like Damian Priest to retain, but I highly doubt it. I think they're gonna give it to Gunther. Gunther's gonna pretty much destroy him if just to be honest.
For
Gunther's gonna
whatever,
beat his ass. And he's gonna be his biggest formidable opponent.
dude. That match that he had this past Monday with Finn, where
Mm-hmm.
my man left his chest like like hamburger meat.
Yeah. Yeah. That was great. That was fantastic. That made me happy.
I always
That made
love
me
the whole
super
thing of
happy.
like is if wrestling's fake, then explain this, and they just showed a
Yeah.
picture of Finn after the match with Gunther.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 It's fantastic. I love it. And then the final match. The final match. It's Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the undisputed WWE Championship. Who would you like to win this match?
Jacob
It's
Fatu.
gonna be
Right.
Cody because I feel like Reigns is gonna return, but as a babyface
Mm-hmm.
and fuck over his cousin.
Okay.
I think it's too early to bring back Roman. I think that if anything is going to happen, this is one or two guesses. Since Paul Heyman is technically out of the bloodline, Paul Heyman is going to somehow interfere. And if they do play it like this, it would be amazing. Paul Heyman brings out somebody, everyone's going to think it's Roman, but it's not. Dun, 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 dun. Fucking Brock Lesnar. Because remember, they
Okay.
did have that match, you know, They did have that match
Okay.
years back, and Brock gave him the respect and actually held his hand up.
That's
So
fair. That's fair. Okay.
because, like I said, I still think it's kind of early to bring Roman back. I think Roman would be more Survivor Series,
Okay. Okay.
right? I mean, and if they do it or whatever, are you gonna have Roman just to come back to really be out for a while until Survivor Series? Because it seems like the way that it's gonna play out, it's gonna be Survivor Series War Games kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's the show coming back or whatever that's
Bad blood.
yeah. So I think if they are gonna do it because of the name of the title of the show and everything like that, that's when you bring back Roman so you can set up the match for Survivor Series.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think the odds are on Final Boss making an appearance?
Too early.
It's understandable.
What? Understandable, but what's your reasoning?
Isn't he still in the midst of working on a movie anyway?
He might be.
He's always working on something and still shows up.
Yeah.
And even with that, it was just how Steve and we had the conversation a while back of that it just seems like to play off the old bloodline versus new bloodline that I still kind of feel like Solo's the pseudo, the pseudo tribal chief and the real tribal chief is the final boss.
Fair. Yeah. Definitely
Okay.
see that.
And then with the build up for Survivor Series, and if they're gonna do it like they've been doing for the past couple of years, Survivor Series War Games, you know, the match is gonna be Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0.
Or
So that means they're gonna get like somehow fucking Jimmy Uso comes back, fucking him and Jay reconcile, and
Mm-hmm.
then since they're probably gonna be a man short because you have the Gorillas of Destiny and Jacob Fatu with Solo, they're gonna be like, we're gonna need another Oos, and then
now,
that's when they bring Sami Zayn. 'Cause remember, he was an honorary Oos,
Mm-hmm.
so then
okay.
that's how you really bring it: old Blue Line versus Blue Line. So then it does make sense if Braun Breaker does get that belt.
Yep.
Now, what if to rewind the clock back to just a few minutes back when you were like Paul Heyman comes out and it's Lesnar? What if it's not Lesnar? What if it's the OG Paul Heyman guy, CM Punk?
Nah.
It doesn't make
Mm-mm.
sense because remember, it's more of CM Punk's on Raw, Cody's SmackDown.
So,
And Brock at this point is a free agent, so it would make sense for this whole thing. Or another thing that could happen is that for for Cody to be saved, they're returning Randy Orton, and Randy Orton turns on him, and then you have that matchup for Survivor Series of Orton versus Cody.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
How I see it, how I would like it, essentially. Cody loses. Cody loses. Solo is basking in the wind. And then you hear Roman Reigns' music come on. And he comes out with Paul Heyman. And Roman wants his title back. And he's going to get it from Solo. That's how I
I
would like it.
I don't like that because I really feel like after Roman holding it for such a long time and thing, like he should not be able to get that title anytime soon.
I also feel like Solo can't really talk in the mic. He shouldn't hold the title.
It's fair.
Or it can also be how Brian was kind of bullied somehow the final boss. comes out, has his, oh my God, that's how you bring it out that the Rock or whatever is the two tribal chief. That if Solo does win, he goes, like for the tribal chief, he raises it up, and then you hear, if you smell, then he just gives him the belt.
That's good too. I like that. A lot of interesting stuff that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we've been watching wrestling since we were kids or anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no. And it's cool because we all have our different opinions and we all have our different, thoughts of how each match should be going. And I like it. It's like we're true bookers here.
Give us the monies.
Yeah,
Give us the contracts.
Yeah.
I want that Endeavor money.
Yeah. They gave me all the monies. Whether it's Endeavor, whether it's fucking
TKO.
Yeah, whatever. Just give me all the monies. We'll take it. We'll take it all.
It's like I love the fact that they all work for Mark Merrow, because remember that was the name of his finisher.
Yeah, it was. That's funny. I think that about wraps it up for the week. I think we've done enough. About an hour 45.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
This is really fun though. Like playing bookers. What would you do? What do you think should happen? What do you want to happen?
Yeah, exactly. So let's finish the show off nicely. Thank you guys for listening. Go check out everything that we have on InnerCityGeeks.net. Of course, we have this show. We also have Bright Today Presents. We also have Comics Con Sabor, Manga Time, Anime World, and a bunch of other shit sometimes. We have all that stuff. You can now listen to the show in a bunch of different places.
Yeah.
You can find us on Pandora, on iHeartRadio, on Amazon Music, on Audible, and on motherfucking Spotify. Soon we'll have them in more places, but those are the ones so far. And those are some pretty high-profile places, you can find us. So you can check us out on all of those. You'll find us on Twitter at InnerCityGeeks, on Instagram at InnerCityGeeks. And where can we find you guys, senors?
I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
You can find me interrupting Steve.
That's fine.
You can find me on Instagram at Bright2J and Bright2J Presents. You can check me out on Twitter. That's right. Fuck you, Elon. It's Twitter, not X. Your Cybertruck looks like really bad PlayStation 1 graphics, and it also reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Homer made the car.
The Cybertruck reminds me of a garbage can.
Oh, have you seen that whole thing with the raccoons?
Yeah.
Trying to go into it because to them it looks like a dumpster.
Yeah, that's great. The Cybertruck looks like if everybody wants it. The Cybertruck is basically if people who are broke want to be Batman.
I don't even think so. I don't know. No.
My electric Batmobile.
It looks gross, dude.
I know. Anyway, find me in those things. Check out bright2jpresents.com. Where can we find you, Alex?
You can find me on Twitter at Denied, DINYED, and on Instagram at Denied, DINYED. And Mr. Steve, he's not here.
I am here.
Okay. Where can we find you, good sir?
You guys can find me on the Twitters. Yes. You guys can find me on the Twitters and the Instagram at Mr. Jackal, MISTERJACKAL. And again, that about wraps it the fuck up for the show. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you being here. thank you, everybody. Make sure you check us out in all the other places that we're going to be at. So find us over there.
We're basically on all the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. All of them.
We are inevitable.
We really are. We really are.
Perfectly balanced, like all things should be.
We find balance in the Force. Yes.
Episode title: Balance of the Force.
Yeah.
I am the Force, and the Force is with me.
Yeah. So, don't be a dick, but always remember that the geeks shall inherit the earth.